You were waiting for the video of the old Rossonero after a derby, isn't it? Make sure to put a big like and subscribe to the channel and tell me how much you are enjoying this flavor of the victory. Another CORTO MUSO against Inter. E andiamo, guys, e andiamo. Wow, they always arrive at the derby so confident on themselves, so almost arrogant, always like, oh, now we have to deal with these guys. Guess what? During this year, and like the previous year, once again, you didn't bring home the 3 points, but not just 3, not even 1. So it's becoming a beautiful thing. I loved it. Okay, it is a very, it is a CORTO MUSO. So I'll be honest, I've been suffering like a dog in the second half. But still, it's a victory against Inter. And not only that, it's not just a victory against Inter that it's already peak. It's a victory against Inter. Estupiñán goal. Assist Fofana. Assist Fofana, guys. With the drama at the end. No penalty at the end for Inter. Uncle Sharma wrote me a message, say, next time you talk about Marotta League, I'm coming to Barcelona, pick you to tell you off. I'm like, this is karma. This is karma, man. This is literally karma. What can I do? What can we do? Last Sunday you were cheering. This Sunday I'm happy. Anyway, guys, let's be very honest, okay? It's been a fantastic first half, in my opinion, where Milan probably deserved also a little bit more compared to Inter, and the second half was actually Inter really trying to get big time to get the draw. And Milan was just doing few counterattacks, still sometimes dangerous with Leao, with Pulisic, with Fofana as well. But eventually, minutes 90 arrived, and Milan bring home the 3 points. Now, we have a billion of things to talk on this video, a billion of things, because where we need to talk about the match itself, we need to talk what about now? What is the plan now for Milan? Are we going for the Scudetto? Are we giving up? We need to talk about the single player, the single performance player. But as always, let's start with the analysis of the match. Okay, let's start with the lineup, as always. So Milan arrived at this match with just one doubt, and it was, do we really trust Estupiñán on the left instead of having Bartesaghi? Okay, Bartesaghi that left the match against Cremonese at minutes 90, and he got an injury, and we were like, man, we have the derby, man. How are we gonna do it without him? Eventually, Milan played with Coni De Winter, Pavlovic, Tomori, Luka Modric, Rabiot, Fofana, Estupiñán, Saelemaekers, Rafa Leao, and Pulisic. Okay. It's also very interesting to say that Inter, I have to say this, Inter didn't have Çalhanoğlu, Inter didn't have the whole attack, Lautaro Martinez and Thuram. And to be honest, today was probably the only time, compared to all the other 5 matches that we won against them, okay? But this time was the time that probably they were less dangerous compared to the other matches, okay? Because Pio Esposito and Bonni pretty much got owned by our defense. They were De Winter, Tomori, and Pavlovic. They were pretty good, all of them. We start having some problem when I saw Dumfries coming in. When I saw Dumfries coming in, and I knew the Estupiñán will be weaker against him, we start to suffering a little bit more. And eventually, Milan on the first half played an equal match against Inter. Still, Inter got a little bit more of ball possession, but uh, when we have players like Luka Modric, that in -3 almost scored the opener after a mistake from Sommer. The vibes, they were right. I mean, Inter keep the ball possession, but they were not too dangerous until -30 something, where Mkhitaryan was pretty much alone in front of Mike, and Mike once again did a magic Mike Magnan save. Few minutes after, the goal of Estupiñán on an assist of Fofana. That is really, not even in my wildest dream I can think of something more peak, I will say, more peak than Fofana assist and goal Estupiñán under the Curva Nord of Inter. That is must be one of the craziest things I ever seen. Is this okay? So it was great, of course, for Pervis, that finally, I think, is the first Ecuadorian scoring a goal in Milan in a derby. So big time for him. Very, very happy for his performance overall. He played really, really well, even after Dumfries came in. So, and I saw he has sometimes, like Fofana, he's always have this problem that uh, he does what the first stop is right, and then he try to complicate his life so much, trying to uh, dribbling, try to cut off another player, and then he lose the balls. And if the ref doesn't stop the game, there is a chance that there is a counter attack for Inter, and a couple of times happened, both with Fofana and Estupiñán. So still something to adjust, but this is clearly the hand of Max Allegri, that believe in his player and give him chance, and whenever they have a tiny bit of chance, they perform well. I think we all know that players like Fofana, they do like 5 things good and 5 things bad, and they have to start to doing 7 things good and 3 bad, and we're fine. I'm not asking you to become like Modric, that does 9 things good and 1 bad, or like Rabiot, but they should improve, in my opinion. However, second half, Inter really put us in the corner. I remember start watching the match at -45, and until -60 we didn't get over the middle of the field, because they were always there pushing us. And eventually we got a couple of counter-attack with Rafa Leao, with Pulisic as well. Later on, there was a substitution with the classic, Nkunku and Fulkrug, Ricci. Nothing really happened. I mean, not that. Let's be honest. Not that Inter was dangerous. Inter was constantly trying to keep in the ball control, and try always the same. Always the same strategy on the left hand side, in between what's his name, Di Marco, Zininski, and Bastoni. But really didn't work out, because their striker, they were not really there. And you can see that players like Lautaro, that usually is very strong physical, tonight he was missing, because Pio got pretty much owned by the Winter. Pavlovic was very good over Bonni. So really they didn't do much. Very happy overall for the match, because this is, let's be honest, this is a victory that is more for the morale, is more for the defense, is more for us, clearly, of course, but is more for the team, that they know that Inter is 7 points ahead of us. Inter is a team that this year struggle against bigger team, but against smaller team, no mercy. And they've been performing top of the league for the last 5 years. And unless there's going to be a dramatic collapse, it's hard. It's hard for this Milan to reach them. Everything is possible in football, but I'm saying that it's very hard to get there. But they didn't win against us, and I'm fucking loving it. It's beautiful. Now, The last minute there was also the handball by Ricci that is supposed to be hand and is supposed to be reviewed by VAR. But I think because the ref didn't stop the game, so VAR could not intervene. I saw penalties given to Inter for way easier, in my opinion. If you remember well, the penalty that they gave to Inter in the first match was Pavlovic step on foot on Thuram. That was, in my opinion, even less penalty than that was it today. Okay, today it was very clear. Arm was bigger, far away from the body. Therefore, he making the size of the body bigger, making stopping the ball literally. What can we do, dear Interista? This is karma. 2 weeks ago, you were celebrating after leaving, after beating Juventus, that has been playing 60 minutes, I would believe, in 10 against 11, for a dive of your Bastoni. And now, karma. This is it. No, it's not that I'm a Juve fan, but Juve, that match, they will never lose that match in 11 versus 11, never. And will be a different point, because you guys probably will draw or maybe even lose against Juve. It will not at 7 points, there will be 5 points now, and 5 points is nothing. Because at 5 points, we were 5 points behind Inter the year that we won the Scudetto, after the derby, after the Si è girato Giroud. So anything could happen. I think it's too far now, unless again there is a drama, but still, we have to do. The difficulties for us is that we're going playing against Lazio in Roma without Rabiot. If you remember the drama against Lazio, the last match, both in Coppa Italia and in Campionato, with a goal given to Milan in the last minute, with a VAR confusion. So it's gonna be drama for sure. We're going to Napoli. We are going to Napoli to play against Antonio Conte's team. And we have Juve at home at some point. We also have Atalanta at home at some point. So we have... it's not going to be easy, we have... But believe in this Max Allegri's team. Somehow Milan beat twice in a year with CORTO, MUSO, Inter, and I cannot be happier. Andiamo. Forza Milan. Forza Milan.